How you manage your bank accounts together can not only make or break your finances, but your marriage. Find out how you can find the right system for the two of you. Hey, welcome to another edition of Marriage and Money Tips. I'm Elle Martinez, creator, host of Couple Money, where we help spouses get on the same page with their finances, dump their debt faster, and build wealth as a team. This week's tip is absolutely crucial for all of the above. The two of you have to decide what's the best solution going forward with your finances and your marriage. And while each couple has their own individual way of mixing things together, there are generally three categories of handling your finances: joint, separate, and a hybrid system. So I'm going to go over each of them, a lot of the benefits and things to look out for so you guys can sit down, talk about what's the best solution for you. The first one is joint. You guys are going all in. You are opening a joint checking account, closing your individual checking accounts and savings, and you are focused on being on the same page. Now, some of the big benefits with this is that you both know what's coming in and out of the accounts. It's harder to keep secrets when you guys are sharing these accounts. You also are working together to make sure that you're getting some good rates. Sometimes with savings accounts, when you combine them, you get a higher balance and that can qualify you for better returns. Now, something you should be aware of is even though you have everything going all in and you're working together, there's a very good chance that you guys have expenses that are more individually based. Every couple has their own personalities, and so does every spouse. So sometimes there are those expenses that maybe you love and bring you joy, but your spouse doesn't quite get. I know when we were first married, I loved getting books and magazines. My husband just didn't understand why it seemed like every time I went out, I usually brought back a book or something else. And that's fine. You know, I've curbed on those expenses, but I do love to go out and do weekend trips or travel or do something. And my husband's more into tech. So those are different goals that we save up for. Maybe I spend more frequently, but smaller amounts, and he saves up for big purchases. You can still do that with joint accounts. Just make sure you set aside a certain amount of budget, and it may be something with a spreadsheet that you guys can keep track of with the balance. Now, the next way you can handle your finances are separate accounts. With separate accounts, you guys are both paying the bills, but from your individual accounts, and you split them. Now, you might feel like this gives you more independence and control, and in some instances and cases, that could be true. What you do want to be aware of is if you're a couple and you make about the same amount, splitting it 50-50 may make sense with your budget. But if there's a big difference with your amount of income, look at splitting the bills proportionally. So what do I mean by that? Say your joint bills are $4,000 a month between taking care of household essentials and savings goals that you guys have both agreed to. Now, you make $4,000 a month and your spouse makes $2,000 a month. If you did it 50-50, basically your spouse would have no money left over while you still have some considerable savings. And that can cause a lot of tension and friction within a marriage. Now, if you did proportional splits, what happens is you pay a little over $2,600 and your spouse pays a little over $1,300. That leaves money in both your accounts to spend as you please. Even though you guys have separate accounts, the big thing here is you absolutely have to be on top of communication. This is where those money dates that are beneficial for any couple are especially crucial. And the reason is you want to make sure that there are no secret accounts. Even though you may decide that you want to spend a certain way, the two of you still have to be on the same page. So make sure if you do separate accounts, you guys are still having regular check-ins where you're reviewing all the accounts and making sure you're on the same page. That will go a long way to maintaining the intimacy in your marriage and also improve communication. Many couples go with some form of the hybrid system. This is where you have your joint checking, your joint savings for those mutual goals and bills that you have. But you keep a little separate money, perhaps in individual checking accounts for the fund money that we had mentioned earlier. And for a lot of couples, this can be a huge benefit because you're getting the best of both worlds. You can still spend on the things you enjoy without having your spouse look over the shoulder, and yet you keep most of your money together. But you still have to be aware, even though you have your individual fund money accounts, it really does pay to sit down and make sure you review all the accounts on your money dates. We don't want to have any financial infidelity or secrets. And I don't want to be negative, but should something happen to one of you and that money is needed, it really pays to be on the same page and know how to access those accounts in emergencies. Side note, even if you have all joint accounts for your checking and saving, just be aware that your retirement accounts in general are in your name. So make sure that you add your spouse as a beneficiary. Do you need to have joint accounts as a married couple to be successful? No. But for many, they find that it's an easier solution to manage, and the shared accounts in a positive way forces them to have those conversations. So however you decide to handle your finances, make sure you both agree to it. So the key takeaways are: talk about your finances together and why you want to do a certain system. 2, make sure you're on the same page with your goals, however you handle your finances. The more separate you are with your goals, not only will your finances kind of be going in so many different directions, you're not really going to be making any progress, but your relationship is going to suffer because you're not working as a team. And then finally, have a regular time, whether it be weekly or monthly, where you sit down and review all the accounts. This is beneficial because it's a protection for both of you. Should something happen, you guys can each, step in, and with more eyeballs on those accounts, should there be a problem with finances, you can nip it in the bud before it gets out of control. So that's my take. I'd love to hear from you. How do you guys handle your finances? Do you guys do joint, separate, or a hybrid? Let me know in the comments. And if you two are still trying to figure out the best system for you and you want something that's easy to maintain and have a system that allows you guys to talk about money without feeling stressed out, please pick up my book, Jumpstart Your Marriage and Your Money. It's a 4-week guide on how to get on the same page and work together with not only your finances, but your dreams. Don't forget, if you like this video, to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more of these marriage and money tips. I hope you have a great week. Take care.